another Kids Room podcast episode. And today we're going to be talking about how to stop complaining and how to start changing. You see, most times I feel like we complain a lot. We complain, but we don't want to change as people. We want to complain about how maybe the people in our job aren't treating us right, or we're not making enough money, or even a relationship ain't going right. Maybe my mental ain't going right. I don't like the way I look, the way I feel about myself, the way I might not hit the gym as much. But who are we to complain about anything when all we do is have the opportunity to change? God gave us the opportunity to change each and every day as He gives us the mercy and the grace that every time you wake up, you can be better. You can mess up one day and wake up another day and be better. But running your mouth and constantly thinking negatively about yourself can ultimately drive you crazy, drive you insane, and push you over the edge. But we want to someday come to the gates of heaven and for God to welcome us in. But we have to push out and change and stop complaining about the things that might not be going our way. Because that's life. That's normal. That's consistent about life. That it can more than likely not be unfair but fair. It's only going to give you what you work for. And more often than not, it's hard. The things that we really want is hard to get. So, what does that mean? We have to learn to change. And in this video, I'm going to list 5 top things that people I feel like complain about. And those 5 things are simply probably work-related issues. Work-related issues can simply just the long hours that you have at work, and you might not feel appreciated. You don't get recognition, and your pay isn't enough. First off, if you feel as if you need recognition for everything that you do in life, then you have misunderstood your purpose. Your recognition means nothing. Us gaining recognition for anything that we do means nothing because you got that opportunity. And if it blesses you in the long run, you really didn't deserve it. None of us deserve it. But God blessed us with that opportunity. God put us with the resources, and He gave us the clear meaning of what that purpose is. And it's not to gain recognition. It's to more likely maybe work hard and have those long hours, late nights, early mornings at times. But it's not to complain about, though. If your pay isn't enough, then you need to do more. And if your job isn't good enough, then clearly you need to leave that job and not complain about it. If all you're going to do is show up to something and complain about it, it's better off that you just leave it alone. It's better off that you probably quit that job. It's better off that you move on to something else that you're probably going to be more interested in, right? And number 2 can just be health and fitness. I don't like the way I feel. I'm not going to the gym enough and doing things like that. First off, if your lack of fitness is something that you don't prioritize, then that's a personal thing that you need to fix. You need to take the time to prioritize your health, your fitness. Ultimately, the longevity of your years, of your life. That's the most important decision that you can do. Being consistent with your fitness, to have the right hygiene, to take the time to shower, brush your teeth, take care of your hair, take care of your skin, and to do things like that. Weight management. Being able to you don't always got to be the biggest person in the room. And ladies, you ain't always got to be the thickest. You ain't always got to have the nicest body. You know what I'm saying? It's simply what God gave you. You got to work with it. You got to work with whatever you got. That's the whole idea of it. That's the whole idea of you making yourself, because you didn't come into this world perfect. But not saying you can leave it perfect either, but you can maintain and you can upgrade and you can consistently take the smaller steps to gain more, right? 3rd one, relationships, communication skills, lack of having time for your family or friends, not being time consistent, not having the right time management. That's what relationships are. Time management. If it's not working for you, fix it. You can't break up with your wife or your husband, right? We live in a society, in a generation of breaking up is normal. Breaking up when someone's not doing what you want them to do or acting the way you want them to act or fulfilling the standards that you put on them, first off. They're not fulfilling those standards or expectations that you wanted them to do. Whose fault is that? That's not their fault. You need to fix that. Change it. Financial stress. We live above our means at times. We got to change that. We live in debt and we can't control our spending habits. We got to change that. I know, personal experience, having unclear expectations of where you want to be in life or unreal expectations. If you're not having $1 million work ethic, don't think you finna just make $1 million. Make that 100,000. See what it takes to make that 100,000. Make that 500,000, 800,000, $1 million. You know what I'm saying? You gotta level up to it. That's how you gotta recognize life. It's to take it at levels, to take it at what it really is. And it's not always to just give you things. And it's not always to just be fair to just you, but to be just. And as well, lack of personal fulfillment, lack of purpose. Go outside and find somebody to help, right? Go find a new job and find purpose. Try new things. See how you can balance yourself out. Sometimes you gotta focus on one thing to end up opening other avenues, right? You don't always have to be a master at many things, right? Most of us are a jack of all trades, but a master at none. Be a master at one thing, and then watch how it leads to others, right? So we have to stop complaining about these things and start to change these things, start to upgrade these things, start to change our mind and be like, what is God trying to show me in these things, right? And also becomes a change part of it. And the change brings accountability. It brings consistency and patience. It brings the focus on the small steps and the consistent steps. It brings to change your environment. That's what it's doing. To remove your triggers, to understand when you want to change, you have to change yourself from the environment. You have to change the way you talk, change the way you walk, change the way you might even look at yourself in the mirror. Change the way you do things in life. Change the way you carry yourself. You have to respect yourself in order to change. You can't expect other people to respect you if you don't respect yourself, right? You got to change that about yourself. You have to build accountability with yourself. If you're going to make a goal and you don't achieve it, what are you going to do to discipline yourself, right? We got to stay disciplined. We have to be mindful of our purpose. We have to know that Philippians 4:11 through 12 is so true that it reads, not that I was ever in need, for I have learned how to be content with whatever I have. I know how to live on almost nothing or with everything. I have learned the secret of living in every situation, whether it is with a full stomach or empty with plenty or little. Changing your mindset means everything. How you walk, how you talk about things, and how you talk to yourself will bring life or death to your goals, life or death to your purpose. We can mess things up by how we talk. We can mess things up by, like, when things happen to us, how we react. What we need to do is not let the enemy drive. And sometimes we need to shut up, be quiet, sit back, and let Christ take the wheel. Don't let your emotions or your words or your reactions get the best of you. Just change it. Change how you think. Change the way you spend. Change the way that you spend your time. Change the way that you're spending your emotions, right? Put those things into pots. Sow your seeds. Put them in the right pots. Not the pots that have holes at the bottom of them. That's just going to fall through. But pots of soil to where you can water it and put it in the right sunlight. Feed it the word. Feed it the right nutrients. Absorb it and to grow into something greater. But man, I appreciate it. Thank you for tapping in. Almost 2025. Man, subscribe, like this, share it with someone that you feel like needs to be shared to. Show them, you know what I'm saying, there's life. There's simple things that we can do, that we can learn, that can ultimately bring you to where you're supposed to be at. But you have to be patient, you have to be kind to people, you have to love one another. You also have to learn how to stop complaining and learn how to change. Man, I appreciate y'all for tapping in with me. Hope y'all feeling loved and blessed as always. And we'll catch y'all on the next one.